I'm Lauren Kelly.
And I'm Chelsea Beers, and you are listening to...
It's ApPARENT. Because for some people, it's just not obvious.
A weekly podcast where we discuss and laugh about parenting, all the joys and sorrows, and all the special parts of us that died as individuals. While drinking booze.
Cheers! Here we are.
Hi, guys.
So today is a Jack and Coke day.
Oh, yeah. That's my favorite drink.
You know what's funny? I actually like Jack neat if I have a preference.
Okay.
But
I'll do Jameson neat. Jack, I like to mix.
Why?
Just because it's different than you. So...
Are you trying to be different than me?
I am different than you, yes. I like Jameson by itself, though. I do. I like shots of Jameson. Jack, I don't know. I like it mixed. I like Jack and Cokes.
Coke I don't really like in general because it's too sweet.
Yeah, it's hard for me to drink soda by itself. Soda, for me, is meant to have alcohol in it.
Yeah, I feel like it's pop.
Yeah,
Pop.
I know. You call it pop. It's so funny. It's
the bubbles. You know what I mean? And I feel Jack is sweet and so is Coke. So I like just it neat or I'll put soda. But today I am doing a Jack and Coke.
Yeah, we're doing hardcore Jack and Coke
I found
today.
two Coca-Colas in our closet because that's where my husband hides the Coca-Colas so that the kids don't drink them.
See, I love that. You have hiding places. That's
we have
great.
to,
but it's the thing that's impressive is that your 16-year-old and 14-year-old haven't found all of your hiding places in a space this size.
They have found them, but they've been caught going in our room before.
Oh.
So it's been like a huge thing. Like, do not go in my room. Like, I don't know if I talked about this on the show, but
here it comes.
I have a stack of books by my bed, which is very funny because I don't read ever.
Are they like cut out and they're like holding,
no,
drugs
they're legit. They hold
snacks?
My earplugs for the middle of the night.
Oh, okay.
And my cell phone. But they're right there, the stack of the books. And, it's just books I've collected throughout the years, some of which I have read, honestly, some of which I haven't. Like my Volkswagen books. And then I've got, my comedy books, my acting books. And then I have a Kama Sutra book.
Is that one at the top?
Well,
Come on.
It was moved positions. And this is how I knew the kids went in our room. And again, their age, they should be curious. And I am not the kind of person that's going to hide a book like that because, I'm very open sexually, and I would rather the boys be curious and talk about it than...
And it's historic. So it's learning things. It's like hieroglyphics,
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Anyway, I caught them going in there, and Danila said, how do you know? And I said, because this Kama Sutra book was put back, bind in, and I have all my other books bind out.
Oh, Sherlock Holmes.
Dude, let me tell you something. I can't get rid of that. Since I have been a part of this family... I am constantly on, stealth mode. I feel like I have to be an investigator with everything.
I think that is a natural motherly thing. You're constantly on alert.
I hate that.
Even when I sleep, Josh could have chance overnight, and I still sleep, almost with one eye open. Something's gonna,
Yeah.
Well, I don't think I've had a straight 8 hours of sleep in 2.5 years. I mean...
Maybe you're right. Maybe it's a motherly instinct, but I have, moments where I'm like, ooh, I just know that they didn't go to bed. Like, the other night, I woke up 12:45 on the dot to pee, which I always wake up in the middle of the night to pee. Now, it was a weekend, so we don't necessarily have a bedtime for the boys on the weekends, right? But it's 12:45, and I can see the light of a computer screen or a phone screen underneath the boys' door as I go to the bathroom.
Right.
And I walk towards the bathroom and the light goes out. And I go to the bathroom and I go back in my room. And as I'm in my room, I peek through the door and the light comes back on through the door. So in my instinct is they were clearly doing something they shouldn't have done.
Right.
Because why would you hide it if you know you don't have to necessarily be in bed at that time?
So did you go in there?
No, but I did check their computers afterward.
Oh. Which you have said.
I have found some stuff on their devices, and I will always check them. But
under your roof, they are susceptible to random checks.
Right.
And I do not disagree with that.
Yeah.
I 100% think that random checks, especially for kids under 18, under your own roof, once you have devices, you need to respect the people that pay for those devices to stay on.
Yes.
Right?
Correct, 1,000%. And for
you.
me, people who have nothing to hide nothing.
Right. Exactly.
So
if
why are you turning off your device?
If
Because
you're
I have to pee.
up front and you're honest about things that are going on, then there's nothing that you need to be ashamed of and keep from anybody in the house.
I don't know. I will say this, though, Chelsea, it's freaking exhausting being a detective all the time. All the time.
It is. I mean, it's a lot. You know, because I think that my equivalent to what you have to do now is me keeping an eye on Chance at all times. Because now he's mobile and he's walking around and he's getting in everything. It's like, where is he? Where is he? Where is he? It's been 3.5 minutes.
Right.
Where is he? I don't hear him. You
Right.
know, and it's just like, it's constant. It's like, you know, chasing after a Roomba. You know, you never know where it is.
Right.
It's like, Jesus Christ.
Just hope it
Where's
doesn't
this damn Roomba?
Well, and then the other part of it is you got to find out. Like, some of the stuff I will tell my husband because I want him to know and I want his support in,
Right.
you know, if I feel like it's something that might have a major repercussion outside of our home,
Right.
then I want him to know about it because it could be detrimental to their future.
Right.
But if it's not, and it's just something like, okay, so they were looking at something they probably shouldn't look at, or they were texting their girlfriend at night, and, you know.
Excuse me, do they have girlfriends?
Yeah. I don't know if both of them
Excuse
do,
me.
but yeah, my youngest one does.
A girlfriend.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I am
And
going to
their-
sit down with him and have a conference.
No,
I am
and
so
their
excited.
interactions on, because Derek had a girlfriend at one point too, my oldest, and his correspondence via text, because this is literally how they communicate now.
Oh, yeah.
Was, in my opinion, not very healthy, because, you know, it just kind of took a turn that wasn't very healthy, but whatever. But my youngest communication now with his girlfriend is actually very cute.
Really?
Yes, it's very cute.
Have you met this girl?
I have not met her yet.
Okay,
No,
okay. Has he talked to you guys about having a girlfriend?
He actually talked to me about having a girlfriend before he talked. Actually, I was the one who brought up his girlfriend during dinner.
Oh my God.
Because I had assumed that he had told Dad, but he didn't tell Dad. He actually came to me and asked me if he could take her to ice cream.
Oh my God.
And I thought that was super cute. But again, this is the relationship I have with the kids. Like, they will come talk to me. Now, at the time, he was grounded. So I said, probably not right now because you're grounded. But yeah, I think taking your girlfriend to ice cream would be a nice thing to do. And, you know, do you have enough money for that? And, you know, whatever.
Right.
But I also treat it much like it's just an everyday thing, you know? So things like that I won't necessarily bring up to my husband. Or if I see them doing something wrong, I saw him typing up cheat for Power School. So Power School is now how the schools keep track of grades. So as parents, you can go and check your kids' grades weekly, daily, whenever you want.
That's awesome. So that you can, because kids will, if they're not, you know, upfront enough, they'll hide stuff from you.
Correct.
So that they don't get in trouble.
Right. But then when I see in the search thing, cheat for Power School, what does that tell you? Tells you that they're probably getting a bad grade and they're going to try and figure out how to cheat the system so that they can get an A to get Dad and I off their backs.
Of course.
Okay.
They probably have a promo code for that.
Probably. So instead of bringing Danilo into it, I just went in the room and I said, hey, I want to talk to you for a minute. And I, you know, said, what's the deal? What are you looking at and why? And what is it about you that feels like you need to cheat the system? Is it a bad grade you're getting? Do you feel like you can't get good grades? Or is it because you just don't want to do the work?
Right.
Because all these are good, variables that make sense, really.
It's true. And if they're honest with you, because we've talked about this before, if they're honest with you about what is the reason that they brought it up, they're embarrassed, they're nervous about repercussions, they, you know, want to be better, but they don't know how, you know, like all these things, if they come to you and say that, cool, let's fix it. Good. You're not in trouble. You're honest, and we're going to get through it together.
Correct.
Boom.
I don't know if they both know that, though.
Right.
You know?
Because, well, that's their teenage mind.
That's true.
That's their teenage mind is just like, well, I don't want to get in trouble. And I know that they said I could go to them and be honest, but that might be a trap so that they still get me in trouble.
Yeah.
So
well, that's why it makes me worried for my friends like you that
Right.
have younger kids that right now, like you said, toddler stage, he's running around and you got to stay on your toes and make sure you're watching him. But you're not going to be able to do that once they're teens. And the way technology, the way all this stuff works
Right.
now,
Right.
like I can't even imagine where it'll be 10 years from now.
No, I'm petrified. I'm thinking, do you remember The Sims? Like when The Sims first
Yes.
came out and it was like, oh, find a house and find a lot and
Yeah.
oh, and I want to buy some food and da-da-da, and it's looking at you with a little diamond over its head and it's
Yeah,
like, oh,
avatars,
blah, blah, blah,
right?
blah, 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 blah. But that's what I feel like Sims is. I feel like the world is coming to a Sims reality. You know what I mean? Like right now, like we're able to play with, like video games with someone in Beijing, and it's like nothing. We both sign on, we're playing a game, we're talking to each other like nothing, and that's something that we weren't able to do.
True.
And so it's like the technology is moving so fast. I mean, kids under 10 have their own cell phones. Kids under 10 have their own, plans and stuff like that. And it's just like, you have got to be kidding me. And so by the time Chance gets to that age, I mean, it's like, that's past where Back to the Future was.
Right.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, Back to the Future now, even in the future of Back to the Future,
Right.
is now that's old.
Yeah, it is.
Holy shit.
I know.
It's crazy.
Well, you're definitely, you should start saving right now because going back to school, because kids are back in school too.
Not even back to school.
Like
I
laptop?
need to save up for the amount that this kid eats.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
a monster.
Mm-hmm.
He's a monster. He's the size that I was at the age of 3.
He is taller.
He's tall. He's in the 95th
but his dad's
percentile.
tall. His dad's
Josh
6'6",
is
right?
Josh is 6'4",
Okay.
I think. Yeah. So he's tall. He's a tall kid. But going back to what we were talking about, because we were talking about you going to Danilo and talking about the things that you found, right?
Right.
So when you go to your husband and talk to him, is your outcome, like when you do that, are you going to him, telling him what's going on so that you guys can be on the same page when it comes to what should happen with the boys regarding this, action or whatever they've done? Or do you feel confident enough as their stepmom to punish them to the level that you feel is needed? Do you know what I mean?
Okay, so the first option, it's not that I don't feel comfortable punishing them because the boys and I have a rapport and relationship at this point.
Right.
It's that, to be very honest, it's not my damn job. I am their stepmother.
Right.
I love them. I care about them. But I am nothing if I don't have the reinforcement of their actual parents.
Right.
And
but having the reinforcement of the biological parents is one thing. But being that you are the step parent in the home gives you complete carte blanche to punish them when you feel fit. Do you get that? Or
I agree. But I think, again, it comes down to what is the thing that's happening that I'm punishing, right?
Okay, right.
So if I found out,
let's say they got in a fight and they got suspended from school. Done. That's the situation. Okay.
Then I would take it on, especially if I was the only parent around. If
Right.
Danelo's working and I'm home and I'm the one who gets the phone call, then absolutely. I'm not the kind of parent that's ever going to say, oh, well, wait till your father gets home.
Now, here's a question.
But Danilo and I are on par, too, as far as what the rules are of our home.
Okay. Now, because I don't know, I mean, I'm now in a broken relationship with a child, so now I have to start figuring this stuff out. When it comes to emergency contacts for the schools to have, are you two, because you have the kids 98.6% of the time, are you two the first people that they call and then the mother is the third? What does that happen? How does that work?
She is not really, I mean, I'm sure the school has her contact information, but her contact information changes all the time, so they probably don't have the up-to-date. No, they call Danilo and I. This is their home. They are living with us the whole time. They are in school Monday through Fridays. They're with us.
Right.
And we're the ones who show up at all the school stuff. She hasn't been to anything in regard to the schools I can't even remember.
Right.
She did attempt once to pick them up when on her weekend, Derek decided he just didn't want to be at school and called her to pick him up.
Oh.
And they had to call us to see if that was okay for her to take them.
Great.
They have her information.
Okay, but they know
and
that
they know
you
who
two...
she is, but they also have the custodial order.
Beautiful.
So
See, that's what I didn't know. I didn't know if the schools had the information regarding custodial things, or I didn't know.
In a circumstance like ours, the school, jobs, everybody needs to know what. I mean, the local police department knows our custodial order because you just never know.
Right.
And that's just our circumstance. So again, we downplay that and try and make it simple. But yeah, in that circumstance, to bring it back, I would absolutely feel like I have a right to be disciplinarian. And in that case, I would tell Danelle, this is what I've come up with.
Okay.
You know, and he would back me 110%. But that being said, I don't necessarily want that job.
Well,
like, I didn't sign up for that. I want to be the cool mom or the cool stepmom is like, hey, you want to go get some ice cream or a Starbucks or whatever. Like, oh, you want to ask me, like, when he came to me and asked me about his girlfriend and going out, that's awesome. Like, that's what I want. Do I have, like, a piece of skin or something for my nose? Do you ever have something on your nose and you can, like, see it?
Yeah, but here's the thing. Because my hair is so frizzy and big and curly and out of control, I constantly have, like, a hair in my eye or a hair in my nose or something tickling my back or my upper neck or something. And it's like, I feel like there's legit, like, bugs. Like, it's so terrible that I'm that comfortable with a fucking ant crawling on my shoulder. Whatever.
Sorry to take it off topic, but
okay, did we talk about how he came to you and talked about his girlfriend? Did we talk about that? And
I was just sitting out on the back deck. It was, I was just sitting out there, just chilling, looking at the sunset, doing my little meditation for the day.
Right.
And he came out and he said, hey, Lauren, do you think it would be okay if I took my girlfriend out on Thursday?
Oh, my God. That's so cute.
And I'm like, what do you mean?
What was his plan?
I said, wait, you have a girlfriend? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, oh, cool. I'm like, what's her name? And he's like, whatever, Brooklyn or whatever. And I'm like, oh, cool. And then he's Brooklyn. Like, she's on Instagram. You can look her up. And I'm like, no, I'm cool. Like,
okay, but can you please understand what a big step that is?
I think so. But
for him to be okay with you looking at her Instagram's for 14-year-olds. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, but again, for those of you who don't know, I started my relationship with these kids respecting them, their decisions, their choices, their opinions, their concerns. So I've always had that with them.
Of course.
I've had to draw the line and I've been blunt with them. I am not your friend. I'm your parent first.
And you don't have to look at her Instagram, but the fact that he gave you permission to look
of course.
Is like, oh my God, he wants you to see what kind of girl he is attracted to, that she's a stand-up person, that she's real. Right. It's so that's awesome.
So you're right. I was flattered, but I was flattered just for him to come to me in the first place. Then I gracefully declined and said, I'd love to meet her though. If you want to have her for dinner for some night, that would be really cool. And I said, honestly, if you want to cook, because he's actually a really good cook.
Yeah.
I'm like, if you want to cook, then, we can do that too. But then I said, but you're grounded, right? And he's like, well, yeah. And then he pulled this. He goes, well, maybe I'll just ask her when I'm with mom then. Oh. And I'm like, because he has, 2 days a month with mom. And I said, if you're grounded and you're going to be with your mom, you probably should just stay grounded. Because this all coincided too with him using his mom as I don't know what the word I'm looking for. A scapegoat. He used his mom as a scapegoat recently for something that he was looking up that was inappropriate. Okay. And he said that his mom told him to look it up. Now, that being said, that doesn't sound so far-fetched just based on what we know, our personal interactions with her. Uh-huh. So my husband, of course, ate it up. Oh, yep, it's her deal. She did it. And he totally lets him off the hook. And he tells me about it, and I'm like, can I bring up something? Hindsight, just a little bit. First of all, he's doing it on our time. Second of all, he's not contacting her, telling the information. Third of all, I know that she's done some really crazy things, but this seems incredibly far-fetched. Right. I said, you know what? Ask him again. So sure enough, he comes out. He uses her as scapegoat again. Long story short, I say, call her. Just call her right now. The three of you talk on the phone and squash it. Because the way that he and Danilo and Jen communicate is via email because it's the safest way.
Of course.
Just to keep the emotions out of it and all that.
So that's big that you even
Yeah, but I don't want to sit there and watch my husband write a 3-hour email again. And I don't want to sit and watch Cameron get all in his head because he lied again. Like, the truth is the kids are going to use the parents against each other. It's a blended family.
Right.
And it's an automatic safe bet. Right?
Yeah.
To use
right.
your mom as someone that you know your dad doesn't like.
Right.
For, that's the reason why you're doing something bad.
Right.
So, called it out. Sure enough, they called her. She didn't seem very angry about it, which is why her and I are different. I'd been pissed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Of
I'd
course.
been like, are you kidding me? You just threw me under the bus.
Right.
With someone that knows that I've made poor choices before.
Yes.
But she didn't seem mad. But she did say, no, absolutely not. I didn't do that. And Cameron got caught.
So what happened then?
Well, that's hence why one of the main reasons he was grounded.
Gotcha.
But we also had a huge discussion, and I said, you need to apologize to your mother. You need to write her a letter. I don't care. He's like, well, I'll just talk to her when I see her next. I said, Cameron, you need to apologize to her. It's disrespectful. And then I asked him bluntly, how many times have you done that? Ooh. Yeah. So then I call the bigger brother out and ask him too. Have you ever
oh my God,
created a circumstance where we have had to go to court because of something you said to mom or dad? Guess what they answered?
Oh my God.
Guess what they answered?
They said yes.
Yes.
Holy shit.
Yep. And here's what I feel. I was proud that they didn't go, no.
Right.
But I also know that. And to hear some of these other things, like their grades were suffering last year. Well, why? Well, I just wish mom and dad would get along. And they're the ones who are sitting there stirring the pot. Again, teenagers. But come on, guys.
But come on.
Let's all get on the same page.
To this level, court shit.
I know.
I mean, that intimidates me, and I'm 36.
I know. But they, again, don't have the concept of it. And so here it is. And it's important that, again, and I say this to my husband too, but that he and their mother both realize that they will stop making up stories when they don't have to.
Right.
Stop putting them against the other parent.
That's the shit that needs to stop.
And
100%.
then they will not feel like they can or have to do that anymore. It is mom and dad and Lauren are all on the same page, and that's it. And I don't know why that's so hard for our situation. Do I think that my husband will ever be friends with his ex-wife? No, I don't. And that's only because of what has transpired.
But
and what
you can
she
be
has
civil
done.
with a human being and not be friends with them.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Josh and I are finding that we work so much better as complete individuals, not under the same roof, not living with each other, not sharing the same shit. We realize that we work better when he is doing his life, I am doing my life.
And that
we
is
meet up
be
2 or 3 times a week, and we discuss chance and chance only. Done. Delete, send, go. I mean, that's it.
So good. And if you guys can learn, see, especially because it's kind of a learned skill, your life is going to go through changes, and so is his.
And that's so. Can I just interject here for a second? Because right now, it is going incredibly well. This has been a very hard transition. I never in my life thought that I would be in this position of a single mom, of having a split home, having to deal with custody shit. I never thought that I would deal with that or have to be in that position, and it breaks my heart and my soul apart that I have to be a part of that. But the fact that we're able to do it so I guess what's the word? Like,
cohesively?
Yeah,
amicably?
We're doing it just, it's very, very, we'll say amicable because that works. But we're able to do it that way and be very nice and hospitable to each other.
Right. What
terrifies me is that when somebody else jumps into the picture, I'm terrified that that the pot will be stirred. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I'm saying?
Oh, hell yes, I do.
Because when he starts dating or when I start dating, it's gonna be a thing.
Yep, absolutely.
And that kind of scares the shit out of me.
Here's what I will say. Knowing that it will be a thing,
right?
You're one step ahead of the game. You're not naive. You know that it will be.
Right.
it's just important at that point that you, again, try and take yourself out of the equation. This is something I did very easily when I came into the picture because I was an outside entity to Danilo and the boys and their mom. Mm-hmm. But the more that I fell in love with the boys, the more that we established our family.
Right.
And the more that I became a part of them and them me,
right.
it became harder for me to separate some of my emotions.
Right.
I have to make a conscious choice in circumstances like the one I just described to say, you know what? Like, I'm taking the outside road on this.
Right.
I'm not going to get emotionally vested or upset because it really ticks me off. Let me tell you what really ticks me off is when you see your kid take advantage of the person that you love because they're kids and they're just going to do that.
Right.
You know? But you deserve, as does Chance's dad, to move on.
Right.
You know? And here's something else I will say, and this does suck. You can't control anything that happens on that side.
I know, and we've talked about this multiple times because one thing that does scare the hell out of me as a parent, as a mother, as a woman, all this stuff, I am terrified of some other woman jumping into the picture, dating Josh, and quote unquote raising my kid, showing Chance things, you know, being around Chance and seeing things. It terrifies the shit out of me.
Why?
Because who is she? Who is she?
Well,
who is she?
Who?
It scares me because I want to be around him all the time, and I want to be the one to show him things. I want to be the one to experience things with him. I want to watch him do the first things in his life that are exciting. I want to be that person. You know, and just the thought and the terrifying knowledge of knowing that someone else is going to have part of that who doesn't know my son.
So let me be devil's advocate here. Does your son, do you believe he deserves to have more people in his corner?
My son has so many people in his
corner.
Right,
but if this person is a positive influence in his life, why the heck wouldn't you want that for him? Right. Do you think every circumstance that Chance goes through is not going to be an eye or die? It's not, if you miss it, it's gone forever. It's not, you're not going to be able to control it whether you're with dad or not. Do you know what I mean? Even being with Danilo, there are things that he does with the boys that I don't have control over at all.
Right.
And my main goal is that the kids are supported regardless. So I don't really care who it is. I don't care if it's their mom for 2 days and they're actually getting the support that they need. That's great. I don't care if she's not there and it's her sister that's taking over or her parents that's taking over. They deserve to have as many people in their lives as possible.
Right. And I mean, I'm not discounting the fact that Chance has so many people and that he needs so many people in his life, you know, to be his cheerleading squad, for lack of a better term, or, you know, whatever, and show him that he is on the right track and, you know, that he can go out, he can spread his wings, he can do the things that he wants, he can experience everything that we have to show him in this world of ours. But my whole thing is it's going to be an amazing eye-opener when Josh dates again and there's someone in his life, another person that he has to get used to, someone else that he has to love, someone else that he has to know is there every time he goes to his dad's house.
He doesn't have to.
It scares the shit out of me.
Well, and I'm just going to say this, and I hope you're not mad at me saying this, but the reason it scares you is because you got out of that relationship because you knew it wasn't a healthy one. So I think that's your biggest fear, is that if Josh moves on, it may not be a healthy relationship either. And you got out of that circumstance so that Chance didn't have to be around that, and you're worried that you won't have control over that. Is that correct?
I mean, it's definitely part. I didn't want to get this deep right now.
Okay.
I didn't want
And we don't have to. We can stop. But I do think that you owe it to yourself to recognize that those are realistic fears, regardless of what level they are. And they're always going to be there. But whether you and Josh were together or not, you wouldn't have control over that part anyway.
It's true.
You know? And just like with me with the boys and dating now, like who are these broads, you know, that they're dating? Like, are they good enough for my kids? You know, are they little sluts? I don't know.
Right.
But I'm trusting one, their judgment. And, you know, it's hard with Chance because he's not old enough yet, but I'm trusting, you know, for Josh's circumstance, you have to at some point trust his judgment. If his judgment is false and wrong, you always have an outlet for it.
Right.
But otherwise, yeah, you're talking about normal shit, letting go of your kid. Yeah. And that's not easy for anybody.
Yeah,
you know?
It's a lot. Yeah, it's a lot.
But,
hey, do you guys know that Lauren's going to be a comedian? Let's talk about that. Lauren's going to be a comedian, you guys. So in San Francisco on October 6th, which is is that a Saturday?
It's a Friday. Friday night,
it's
October
Friday.
6th
Oh, that's
at
right.
Doc's Lab.
Friday night, San Francisco, Doc's Lab, 8 p.m. Is that a real
8
statement?
8 p.m. is the
8 p.m.
show.
So Lauren is a part of a show called I Think I'd Be Good at That, and she is the headliner that night, actually.
Which is kind of crazy to never do stand-up before and then have this opportunity.
Right. But the amazing thing is that she's got 5 other comics? 5 other comics that will be there that are they doing spots? They're doing spots, right?
Yeah, so if I suck, there's still something good to see.
Right. I'll be there. I'm doing a spot.
Well, you have to go because that's just mandated by me.
Oh, okay. So I will be there, everybody. I'm also performing. There will be 5 other comics besides me, so 6 total, plus the headliner, which is Lauren, so 7 comics that you will be seeing. And these comics are helping Lauren develop her material, and then she will be performing her very first stand-up comedy act. It's gonna be absolutely amazing.
It's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be absolutely
I'm really
crazy.
excited. So make sure that you guys write it down. Email us. We will give you any information that you need. If we're able to get some sort of discounted ticket list, we will definitely pass it along to you guys. But
I think
as of right
tickets
now,
are available right now.
Are they selling tickets right now? On Eventbrite or?
No, Doc's Lab, docslabsf.com.
Oh, there you go.
And I'd recommend getting tickets too because I have a lot of fucking friends and it's kind of selling out. So
it will sell out, actually. This is the second time that the producer has done this show, and it does sell out. This is a really dear friend of mine that puts the show on, and he's an incredible producer, and he works his ass off to make them all a success. So, Drew Harmon, if you are listening, we love you with all of our hearts, and I love that I am a friend of yours in comedy and in life. So thank you so much for being a part of my life and a part of Lauren's.
And everyone who knows me knows that this is something I've always wanted to try, but for 36 years I've put it off for multiple reasons. I've let fear get in the way, you know, I mean, and even now, especially being a new mom, it's been even more scary.
Right. But it does give you amazing material.
Right. But I also have to do it, you know?
Yeah.
You live once, and I am at a place in my life where if I'm going to quit acting, like my mom said, I got to try comedy then. I got to try stand up. And then when I bomb, I can decide to be done.
So get your tickets now, and we'll see you guys next week. We love you.
Peace.
Hey, you can check us out individually on our websites, chelseabierce.com and lauren-kelly.com, to see all the super exciting things we're up to.
And make sure that you like, follow, and share. We're on YouTube. We're on Facebook. We're on Twitter at It's Apparent Pod.
And if you wouldn't mind, please review us. We'd love that.
Yeah, make it count. We out.
Boom!